Let's just see. It's all right. We are live. I'm sorry. We are live here in Northern Maine at Bella Vista English Mastiffs. The topic today is a subject that comes up more often than not. So, I have a lot of friends. I have a lot of people in the dog world that, they understand that the position I'm in, I have, some pretty amazing lines out of Europe. We have pretty amazing lines out of Europe. And the only way to preserve them lines is to make sure we're doing, very careful breeding and correctly. And so people think that, everything just sort of ends with me. It really doesn't, because the lines that we have here originated in England, into Sicily, with Massimo Antacci and Antonio Fracassi and Emmanuel Asta and that whole group of gentlemen. They certainly didn't get where they are today, just breeding anything and everything. And I will preface this by saying, AKC is just a registry. Purebred does not mean well-bred. And it is very, very important that unless you have something special that has been 100% genetic tested, you really shouldn't be breeding. Now, a lot of people get annoyed by that because there are, families where only the husband is working and the mom stays home and debating on whether or not she should get a job and then pay for daycare. And so they come up with this idea, hey, I think, why don't we get a couple of dogs and breed dogs? So I'm just telling you, when you consider breeding life, you have to think about this. You have to think long and hard of all the things that other breeders that came before you have gone through. My motto is, do you want to be part of the problem or do you want to be part of the solution? I want to be part of the solution. The solution for me is always being transparent with people, answering those tough questions. Sometimes you may feel that your back is against the wall. There are times you're going to have to answer questions that, you may not want to answer, or you may feel that I don't have to answer that. When you are doing something for the public, something as important as breeding life, like we do here at Bella Vista English Mastiffs, guys, that is not something you should take lightly. And not only should you take it seriously while bringing life into the world, but people are going to come to you with a very high expectation for services, and they are trusting you with their time, with their heart, with the heart of sometimes their children, and their finances. And I'm sorry, but you should not lead anyone into financial despair. This is 2025. Breeders have got to rise to a higher standard. And listen, this is a thing. I live with this every day. Whether or not I have a litter of puppies, my electric bill is almost $900 a month with Versant Power. Y'all want to see a copy of that? It's true. I am constantly chasing the electric bill. So there are things to factor in. When you have more than one dog, multiple dogs, how about insurance? My insurance to do what I do is $267 a month, whether or not I have litters of puppies. My electric bill is there whether or not I have litters of puppies. And all 8 dogs have to eat whether or not I have litters of puppies, my food bill on 8 dogs is roughly between $600 and $700 a month. That is kibble, and that is whatever else I provide. And hi, Annette. It's hard to read. It's hard to read your comment that far away. I'm definitely looking forward to talking to you. You didn't just stumble across our YouTube channel. I believe in my heart. Hey, I love you. Be careful driving, baby. I believe in my heart that the Mastiff being so majestic, tends to bring us all together. Do you know how many, amazingly close friends I have now that are lifelong friends, all because I breed English Mastiffs. We breed English Mastiffs. And so I don't want to get sidetracked, but I do want to talk to you in that. I will tell you the phone number here in just a minute. We are in northern Maine. We deliver all over the USA. The farthest we've ever delivered was up to West Virginia. And, a lot of times people just during their journey with us will save the price of a plane ticket and drive in, or they pay my partner. I do have 3 or 4 other co-owns with my good friends, Scott and Leona. And Scott, having driven truck most of his life, does our deliveries. Sometimes Chris takes that ride. Sometimes he does not, and Scott may take that ride with his son or his grandsons. But anyway, the subject today is to co-own or not to co-own. The first thing is be different, be better, and don't be part of the problem, be part of the solution. It's hard because I bred dogs and horses for about 30 years, and then about 10 years ago, my dogs had aged out, and I was kind of done. And then my husband and I talked, and we decided to start new lines. And I knew that I needed something better, genetically clearer, and I wanted to be part of the solution, not the problem. The problem in the United States is the regulations are almost nothing. People get away with a lot, okay? Breeders get away with a lot. In the state of Maine, it's a farming state, so there are some gray lines there for what breeders can get a law. Hi, good morning. Wow, we have a lot of viewers here. This is awesome. The state of Maine is a farming state, so there's some gray lines there for what breeders and animal owners in general can get away with. I hate to say the term get away with, but that's the facts. It's certainly not any standard that, I can put my head on my pillow at night. The reason I love European lines is the English Mastiff originated in England. It did not originate here in the United States. And I don't want to get sidetracked. The topic for today's discussion is to co-own or not to co-own. That's a big question that I get a lot. And I kind of overlooked it because it's tough. But I want to tell you my experience and what we believe here at Bella Vista English Mastiffs. And so you want to start out with the best bloodlines that you can afford. The bigger burden for you is to make sure you are bringing something to the table and you are not part of the problem, you're part of the solution. So don't breed life if you can't breed to standard and to be better. There are enough backyard breeders in the world. People get angry when I say this kind of stuff, but we're breeding life. And again, you're not just breeding life, but you're taking families on this road with you. And so I'm the breeder that has these tough conversations. I have people all over the United States and a few other countries that trust me, and they know I have 30 years, probably more than that now, because I'm not young. But I just feel like integrity is everything, and I am not going to do a 24/7, 365-day a year job. And it's for us, it's not a job. This is a pleasure. It's a joy. We have what we feel like is the best lines in the United States, and they're exclusive. So I was very lucky to have Antonio Fracassi that has this high standard. He and Massimo Antocci in Sicily went in about 50 years ago. Massimo imported them from England over to Sicily, then involved Emmanuel Asta, who owns Franca. My Lily's grandmother is Franca del Fracasso. This is Mastiff breeding excellence here. This is Mastiff royalty, okay? There isn't a breeder in Europe that doesn't know about Del Fracasso. And, the dogs around our dogs have won everything multiple times. Crufts in England, Rome, Germany, Denmark, Poland, France, Crufts in England. And so there's a huge pressure on me to make sure I uphold the integrity, the class, the dignity, the transparency, and the clean honesty of my predecessors. I don't take that lightly. Massimo still shows, he still breeds. He is the founding father as far as I'm concerned. He watches us, he's on our dog page, and I feel like I have to make sure that I do not do damage to that integrity. And all of the European breeders are watching us, and it's important that we maintain that standard. So that has a lot to do with why I can't involve other people, outside people, and sometimes share my lines. So I know what we have here, and I sleep easy knowing that when I put a puppy in your arms, we are going to be friends for a long time. My clients over the years are very protective over me. They're not on social media singing my praises and commenting everywhere because we kind of have something exclusive. We have a standard. We have integrity. And so, money alone doesn't buy a puppy from us. But today's subject is to co-own or not to co-own. And so you would never believe how many times people contact me and say, I live in New York or I live in Connecticut. Wouldn't it be great if I got a pup from you and I like to drive? What if we breed from my location and you do with me what you do with Scott and Leona? And it comes out like a really easy question, but in my mind, there's so many variables, literally so many variables to me putting a full AKC puppy in your hands. And yeah, maybe it feels like losing control a little bit because I know I can look at Massimo and Emmanuel Asta and Antonio and say, we may not always agree on every single subject, but we are all maintaining the integrity that Massimo, and guys, you can Google him. I mean, he is like the godfather to Mastiff breeding excellence. So that has always been my objective, is to breed not only to the European standard, the standard is the standard, and Mastiff is Mastiff, by the way. I say English Mastiff, especially on my dog page, because I get a lot of people that say, what kind of Mastiffs do you breed? And people don't realize, a lot of people get annoyed with why I bought the trademark in so many different ways. I bought the trademark Bella Vista Mastiffs and Bella Vista English Mastiffs in English and Italian, the .com, the .net, the .info, because I get an enormous amount of people that are new to the Mastiff breed that are aware that the temperament is not the same on all Mastiffs. You've heard me say this before. Very quickly, I'll tell you, the Bull Mastiff and the English Mastiff have a different temperament. My daughter Andrea had a Brazilian Mastiff, and I've trained thoroughbreds, I've trained young colts, young fillies. I have trained a lot of dogs, Rottweilers, Dobermans, Akitas, Malinois. Maya, Andrea's Brazilian Mastiff, was probably the only dog that made me go, yeah, so, so, I mean, I wasn't afraid of her, but her job is to protect my daughter, and they live alone. At the time, they were living alone together, and I had to respect the dog's boundaries. I couldn't just run up and throw my arms around my daughter. She flies in occasionally. I had to respect Maya's boundaries. She was doing what I couldn't do. She was protecting my daughter in California while I'm not there. So we respect Maya's position with my daughter. But to co-own or not to co-own is the subject today. So a lot of times people buy one really, really, really nice breeding dog. And then they start to realize that they're kind of not making their money back right away. They start to feel like, the genetic testing and the upkeep and all that starts to get a little hairy. So they go and they grab another opposite sex Mastiff. And that's where they go wrong. And so with us, all of our dogs come from Europe, except for Bruno and Faith. And Bruno and Faith are genetically 100% clear. And again, I may not always agree with the breeder, but he got some mighty fine dogs. And that's why I bought them. And so, no, we don't agree. We probably don't even get along. I think my personality is very to the point, and my husband and I just feel that integrity and good public relations is important, and being transparent. So sometimes I talk too much, but that is why our clients love us, because we're always willing to talk the integrity, the genetics, the temperament. A lot of my pups go into homes with children. So you see that I get a little sidetracked. So to co-own, to not to co-own. So I have a lot of people in my world that would really love to have a puppy from us, and then take that pup home and me keep full AKC on that pup, and then co-own the pup with me. And I have people that show all over the country and Westminster, and that's a thought. I do co-own. So I do have a partner on 3 dogs. And I will tell you that when Rain gets bred in May, so Rain is Gage's daughter, Bella Vista Gage. He's out of Ferdinando del Fracasso and Fenrir de Ronx-Giban. He's on my page banner. I have Lily and Rain out of him. My black brindle girl, Lily, is the daughter of Serafina del Fracasso, who's the daughter of Franca. You can Google these names. Franca won everything in Europe, including Budapest. So the Del Fracasso legacy is no joke. Massimo Antocci is no joke. They have stood the test of time, weeding out and breeding out anything undesirable in the Mastiff composition. For me, it's not just about show people. It's about my pups go into the hands of children. Sometimes children with traumatic brain injury. Sometimes children with autism spectrum disorder. And why do I bring that up a lot? Why is it important? Because autism spectrum disorder, the people that have it, the children that have it, cannot stand loud noises. I have 8 Mastiffs in my great room right now. You might hear a gentle snore, which is kind of calming. You don't hear my dogs going crazy barking. And so it's easy for a retired military member that just comes home from active duty, possibly has you know, brought home some things he didn't intend on bringing home. And, it's important that we always keep that at the front of our minds. Who is getting our puppies? Sometimes, like I said, we have pups go into the home of children with traumatic brain injury or autism spectrum disorder. They can't take a dog that's in their face, barking, being destructive. And, over the years, I've had military and law enforcement with traumatic brain injury. And it's something that you can't just run into it. You have to stop and think, can I bring something positive to the table? I have to slow down, think about the people that are asking for this puppy. Are they ready? Will they let me sort of talk to them and mentor them? Everything good that can happen to a dog begins with a breeder. 80% of the breeders that follow me, and a lot do, in a lot of different breeds, 80% of the breeders that follow me respect the hard conversations that I'm willing to have. Not everybody should be breeding dogs. So somebody asked me the other day, somebody very financially well off, if I would consider letting them buy a pup to have with full AKC rights, and they're in a better state, that would be very more accessible. They would drive up, let me breed to one of my males, and then we could do that. They were very much interested in doing what I do with Scott and Leona. Well, it sounds good. Sounds good. There are a lot of variables. And what Scott and I have didn't just happen. Didn't just happen. So I've had somebody say to me recently, why is it only Scott you'll co-own with? I don't understand. My reasoning is this. I met them 7 years ago. Scott was driving truck full time. His wife was working for a store chain, and they wanted a puppy. Life happened as the pups were born, and I asked Scott, we're just going to keep it simple, I asked Scott if, while he was in between big contracts, if he'd come help me do some work to our 30 by 30 building. I wanted a 14 by 14 outdoor whelping room for summer that was a foot up off the ground and very double insulated with heating and lighting, and to have it look like a living room. And I also wanted to build a big 20 by 20 deck. And so as, things came into alignment, we were able to do that. So when Gage's son Bash was born, his wife fell in love with him. My plan was to keep Bash in the breeding program because he looks just like his daddy. But they were living 8 miles up the road, and so at the time they had several houses, but they have one up about 8 miles up the road that they actually just sold. But we became friends. And although they wanted a puppy, she fell in love with Sebastian Rain, Bella Vista's Sebastian Rain. And so they were right up the road. So I thought, all right, I'm going to let them take Sebastian Rain. His name is Bash. And over time, building the outdoor area, like the garage that we have here, you could sleep in the middle of the winter. There's a heating system, a pellet stove. You can see the pellet stove pipe out the thing. There's beautiful, what do you call them, gas-infused windows. The room alone cost me $10,000. It's a foot up off the floor. It's double insulated with rock wool. It has lighting and beautiful gold curtains, and I keep horse mats on the floor with some shavings. And Bruno and Faith are able to go into that room. They have run of that area. They go into that room. They're able to go out the back door of the garage. I mean, not all the time, guys, just when the dogs are turned out. My dogs live in my house. But anyway, it's nice that they're outside and separate and they have their own life besides all being in the same area. I mean, the house is pretty big, but it's nice if the dogs can have different areas. And so right now, coming into breeding season, Bruno and Faith are hanging together. They love each other. And Patton is with the other 3 girls. So Kiana, Rain, and Lily. So, but, sometimes I have learned over the last few years, some viewers have gotten a little resentful for this thing I have with Scott and his wife. It's simple. Over time, you get to know people. Over time, you build trust. That doesn't happen in 5 minutes. It doesn't happen over the phone. You can get a feeling for somebody, but until you interact with them and see them through challenges and everything, I mean, you're not going to trust them with something so important as this breeding legacy. It's not just me. I'm just continuing on in the United States what Massimo Antocci started in Sicily. So when I don't sell you a full AKC puppy to breed, it's either A, and people don't understand this, but there was a list of breeders in the United States that were on Antonio Fracassi's do not sell list. And when Patton came into my life and he wanted me to, kind of represent him here in the United States, there was a list. And people get really pissed off, pardon my French, on a Sunday, but I'm not going to sell a pup to somebody that Antonio wouldn't sell a pup to. So please understand, this is bigger than me. I'm trying to keep a legacy going here. And if I sell breeding pups to just any breeder that has a few dollars, you're not breeding to something of equal excellence and genetically clear dogs with that unparalleled body type and temperament. I'm part of the problem. And Antonio's lines would be, and Massimo's lines would be watered down very quickly. So please understand, although I have the greatest privilege of breeding these amazing European dogs, there is a huge burden that rests on my shoulders to make sure that when you see one of our pups in public, like my clients take their dogs everywhere. They fly. I have videos of pups of mine in the cockpits of planes. I have pictures of Harold in the cockpit of a United jet, in the business section of a United jet with the pilots. So I'm telling you, people count on a certain look, a certain genetic profile, and the clarity of these lines. The burden is making sure I don't do anything to harm the legacy that Massimo Antocci began and dedicated his life to. I think if you respect the Mastiff and the majestic breed that it is, you have to level up. Be better. I'm not saying American lines aren't good. It's just not this. And so I've had hard conversations with other breeders in the United States. Almost 90% of them respect that. Stay on the dog page, Bella Vista English Mastiff. There's thousands of people there from all around Europe. They understand what we do. They respect it. And then they go and they breed American lines that they can do to the best of their ability. It's not that American lines are not good. They are. My issue is American breeders are all sharing the same DNA. That's my issue. All them top 10 names that you hear when you Google Mastiff breeders, they're all swapping pups, and you give me a male, I'll give you a female, da-da-da. And all you're doing is buying the same combination of pizza. Doesn't mean it's not good. Don't get mad at me. I'm just saying, when we wanted to rebuild this breeding program, in 2015. We said we're either going to do it better or we're not going to do it. That's all. So to co-own, to not co-own. Number one, you have to start out with the best genetics that your money can buy. That's first of all. Second of all, you have to co-own with somebody that you know in person, you've built a rapport with, that you trust, both people, the husband and the wife, or the partner, and that couple sees the same vision and will agree to dedicate their life to preserving the integrity of the whole mission. The mission is to breed Mastiff excellence. Now, why did Antonio choose me in northern Maine? I mean, I grew up in Boston. My husband grew up in Philly. Why did he choose me? I don't know. It's not, everybody thinks it's because I'm Italian and he's Italian and there's a little, thing. It's not that. It's that he came on the page in 2015, the Facebook page. We go live every time I progesterone test a female, collect my males, check them under the microscope. I let all my clients, hey, Chris, can you approve her, please? Man, we're getting a lot of comments on this podcast. So, I've had people come to me and say, I just talked to Antonio Fracassi. He says for me to get a full AKC pup from you. And I'm like, oh, cool, all right. And then I checked them, and it's a disaster. And then it's 6 hours later in Italy, and poor Antonio, God bless his heart and his patience with me. Antonio, did you tell this guy here in the United States I should let him take a full AKC pup, that you've already done this background and we want him to breed into this legacy of Mastiff excellence? He contacted me a year ago. I didn't have a conversation with him. I told him I didn't have anything for him. And he brought up that you breed in the United States, my lines. So I had to go back and I say to him, guy, you did not get the clearance from Antonio. Why is this important? Because the clients we do have, because the families we do have that trust us, the military members that dedicated their life to protecting this country, they want no nonsense. They've had enough chaos in their life. Or families with children with autism or autism spectrum disorder or anxiety. They need a breeder that can't be bought. They need a breeder that tells them straight. Every one of the clients of ours that has a puppy from us is so proud to carry on and have a piece, even a piece of this Mastiff legacy. No, I can't be bought. And I'm sorry, but I've said this before. Don't get into breeding life if you're trying to pay off your mortgage and your truck payment. See, that's where I start losing people. Don't do that. Animals deserve better. The only reason we breed, and we breed 3 times and spay or neuter, not neuter, but we spay. Sophie's spayed, she had 3, okay? Serafina was spayed. We spay. 3 litters is enough. The dog has done their job. I can't stand when I hear that these breeders are breeding the asses off their dogs, and then what do? They give them away. I couldn't part with Sophie. Scott has Sophie, he showed her. We couldn't part with Rory. Rory died at 11 years old, very comfortable here. I couldn't part with Holly, Bella Vista's Boughs of Holly. She lived very comfortably after her litters. I don't understand how anybody can love something for 2 years and all that and breed 3 times and then give them away. I don't get it. It's like giving one of my kids away. I understand people asking, but Kiana has so much heart and so much integrity. She loves us so much. I mean, even though I never had a litter with her, I'm going to try. And every time I don't get her pregnant, I got to test her for brucellosis and pyometria. So, real quick, in 2 sentences, this is why you got to spay your females. Once they come into a heat, they turn 18 months old. If you don't spay them, you greaten the chances, you increase dramatically the chances for brucellosis and pyometria exponentially. The female body in humans and animals is created to procreate. The female body is created by divine whatever to procreate. When a body comes into heat and doesn't get bred, you greatly increase the chances, highly, of brucellosis and pyometria. And that's not what this talk is about. Our clients understand that. They must spay between 18 months and 2 years and not allow breedings that we didn't all agree on. So co-own or not co-own. It takes a long time to get to know somebody. It takes in person. It doesn't happen online. I'm somebody that I think I'm funny. I try and be satirical. I crack jokes. Sometimes I can't wait to tell you something. And so you'll see me say he when I meant she, or, I might have screwed up a date or a birth date or something. I just get so excited to tell you guys stuff. And we get so many comments afterwards. And I don't want to be like everybody else. I'm not a YouTuber. Yes, I know technically this is a podcast. And yes, it's YouTube. But as you can tell, I am a little socially awkward because I spend my whole life around dogs and horses. I'm a little socially awkward. And I have this breed for the same reason that everybody else has this breed. I've had anxiety and all that. And listen, I have 8 Mastiffs in my house. Well, Bruno and Faith are outside. This is why I have them. Because they're calm, they're kind, they're gentle, and they're majestic. And when I was going through cancer, and after my surgery, my dogs were here for me. I think owning a Mastiff has a lot of facets. When parents come to us for puppies, it's usually the wife, oh my God, they're so adorable. The husband, oh, they're so majestic. And I get it. But the best quality about this breed is how kid-proof they are. The heart and the integrity and the honesty of this breed. I have, years and years ago, had 4 Rottweilers out of Germany. They were good with my kids, but I wouldn't say they were amazing with children. I had Mastiffs. My father had Mastiffs. So I know a bit. I know a thing. Got a lot of time in the field. But for me, I look at the heart and the honesty and the integrity of this breed. To me, I don't want to cry. When a military member calls me that came home different than he went, sacrificing all, I realize I have to put a puppy in your hands. I need you to experience what I'm experiencing. The honesty, the trustworthiness. Look at the videos all across. There's 550 or 60 videos on this YouTube channel. Look at these dogs with my grandchildren when they were babies. I wouldn't own a horse that was nasty, and I wouldn't own a breed that was nasty. I've worked with a lot of dogs. For me, honesty is everything. At my age, I have a friend that says, stop saying how old you are, but I'm gonna. I'm 59 years old, for God's sakes. I've trained horses and done pretty much everything. Fished lobsters, fished oysters, had restaurants. I don't have no time for lying and anything besides this. Do you understand? And can you receive this mission of keeping Massimo Antocci's hard work clean? Do you know that on this YouTube channel, people from all over Italy and Europe are watching us? When you have a puppy from Bella Vista, we represent the people that came before us. Massimo, Antonio, Emmanuel, even Roberto Sciannoni that actually owned Cosimo. Okay? We're part of a big family. And if you gotta respect the integrity. You got to. So, this is 2025. They're a great deterrent. They're not just big teddy bears, love bugs for your grandchildren and your babies to roll around the floor. They're excellent for that. But they have a good mind, and they can determine good and bad. So if you have a backyard and your Mastiff is in it and your grandbabies are playing and some guy decides to open your fence, all bets are off. That dog's going to intercept. My dogs are the nicest dogs on the planet. From my grandchildren, from my clients that come and visit. Once you're in the house and I show the dog you're good, you can do anything with my dogs. You can roll around the floor with Patton. You can kiss his face. I've had people that have come here to get their puppy. They bring stuffed animals and stuff for the dogs, dog toys, treats, and stuff like that. And they go, wow, it's so awesome. Thank you so much. This has been such an experience. But they don't understand that we chose them. We choose our clients. We get, out of a month, we get probably, 30 people that contact us. We got to sift through them and see. This is not just a Mastiff. I'm handing you the legacy of Massimo and Antonio and Emmanuel and Roberto and the whole show team. When my clients go into a public place or the parade or something, people go, wow, that's a Del Fracasso dog. I just had somebody contact me and say they were at a park in New Hampshire and there was a huge Mastiff there and they watch us on YouTube. And they walked over to my client, can I come over, because they got the dog with them. Yes. Is that a Bella Vista dog? Yes. And then they contact us. So be better, have integrity, tell the truth, be transparent, because families, children, military members, they're counting on us to not steer them astray. See how I get sidetracked? It's ridiculous. So, really about to co-own, to not co-own. For me, a lot of people have not listen, they like Scott. They love Scott. In fact, when Scott delivers puppies for us, with either his son or his grandson, our clients have food waiting for them and subs, and one of our clients did T-shirts for them. They sent me a beautiful sweatshirt with Gage's face embroidered. That's huge. A huge embroidered face of Gage. All of our clients adore Scott and his grandson Landon, and his son. They did ball caps, they do subs, chips, stuff for them to get back on the road and head back to Maine. I tell people, your puppy's headed towards you. Take care of our boys. So, that's a day and a half out of Scott's time away from his family and, helping Leona at home. And at the end of the day, you can tell by my personality, it's not for everyone. I know that. Listen, I want to be everybody's favorite person, but I know I'm not. I want to just agree. I want to just say, yeah, sure, just do that. I want to say, hey, it doesn't matter. All dogs are nice. Just take my puppy and breed it and do whatever. But I can't. I can't because we are called to a greater calling of not being part of the problem, but being part of the solution. If you are joining us here on YouTube, around the world, or on our Facebook page, also Bella Vista English Mastiffs, we are seeing you. We love your interest in the majestic Mastiff. Most of you get our mission. You understand what we're doing. These dogs live a long time. It is a breeder's, the burden, well, not really a burden, but it's your job. Everything good that happens with a dog starts with the breeder. So I'm calling you to something higher, even if you're not breeding our lines. Be better. Look at your clients. Answer the phone. Answer them hard questions. Show them genetic testing results. Take care of your breeding dogs. They are family. We shouldn't breed them and give them away. How do you give away your family? I can't even look Kiana in the face or Gage in the face or Lily in the face and say, hey, I'm going to breed you. You're going to get pregnant for me. I'm going to make money on your puppies, which a good breeder doesn't really make money. We maybe break even. When you calculate the electric bill, $900 a month, and the insurance, $267 a month, whether or not you have puppies, you're always upside down. If you're doing it right, you're not making money. You're doing it from your heart. I don't have a lot of the financial burden some people have. I could just enjoy my dogs. But when I see the integrity and the honesty of these lines in this breed, and then a military member or an injured police officer that has to take an early retirement calls me, I say, yes. Yes, I have a puppy for you. Yes. And it's a selfless job, and I'm not tooting my own horn. Once a year, we donate one free puppy to a military member that gave his life for this country and came home different than he went. Where's the prestige when you're sitting in a wheelchair? A lot of these guys come home and they're still proud. They're sitting in their wheelchairs. Sometimes they don't have a limb. They're fighting all the things in their mind. I know because I had anxiety. I know that. I had a really messed up childhood. It takes everything I have to wake up, be grateful for what I have today, stay in the moment, and not give people from my past any more power over me. When a military member or an injured law enforcement agent calls us, I say yes. That is why we got to wake up and we got to breed in May, even though I missed before. You're the reason we get up and keep doing this, even though we're not making any money. So when I look at Kiana and I look at Lily and I look at Rain, Gage's daughters, Kiana's out of, Urano and Viola in Italy, I cannot look at my girls and say, you serve a purpose. All the love I have for you is conditional. You give me puppies, I love you. You give me puppies, I take care of you. I don't know that kind of love. Loyalty, respect, love, and the courage to withstand storms of life is my love language. If I love you, just know I don't love easy. If you are my friend, just know I've been screwed over by every person I ever thought was my friend. Be better. Don't be that person. I keep my circle small because I literally feel like sometimes my heart can't take one more disappointment. People I thought would never betray me have betrayed me. Everybody wants to be a part of this because we're all over YouTube and people from all over the world are watching us, and it sounds good. But this is a 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week thing. And there's a million variables, like I have really good friends with other Mastiffs from other breeders, and I don't just let them come here. And I just had to tell somebody I really like, no, you can't drop in with your female. I'm terrified of leptospirosis or parvo. I'm coming into breeding in May. My land has always been clean. I've never had anything. I don't want to have to ask you if you vaccinate and all that stuff. And thank God I have good friends that understand it. But at the end of the day, do we choose to co-own or not co-own? Well, I can tell you, Scott and I, and Scott's wife and I, absolutely do not agree on everything. We don't. I have a very certain way I like things done. I feel like I answer to my clients. I have this end vision of putting the puppy in. The military guy or the chief of police in upstate New York got a pup from us last time around. Joe Cecil. And I'm looking at the end, the end game is, what you look like when I put that puppy in your hands or we deliver that puppy. And so my relationship for co-own with Scott and Leona has weathered 7 years of trials and tribulations. And guess what? When I breed Rain, Bella Vista's sweet New England Rain, to Patent del Fracasso, yikes, those are going to be some amazing puppies. We're going to see that brindle that has the apricot hues. We're going to see possibly apricot, and we're going to see fawn. I am keeping first pick gauge look-alike male, breeder's reserve, breeder's choice. I believe Scott will be keeping first brindle female to eventually breed to probably Bruno, and no relation. And what we have now is, out of Lily, 2 first brindle males are accounted for, people that have waited and trust me, and they contact me all the time, and they check in on me, and if they know I have a cold, they call me, and how are you doing, how are you feeling, I'm thinking of you, can't wait for May, and I missed last time. Do you know I missed last time, my girls? I don't know, my timing was off or something. Now I purchased a new piece of equipment, the endoscope, and I'm not going to get into that, but I think we're going to get Kiana pregnant this time. I'm just saying, I'm not going to take any puppy reserves on her. That's going to be a huge surprise. In Italian, we say sorpresa. I follow a barrel racer named Fallon Taylor. She's out of Texas. She's been world champion and everything. And she gets up every day and she fights the good fight and she tries to be better. And I follow her everywhere. And I've also told you that I follow Matt Mills in the reining world. But I follow Fallon Taylor because we have a similar history. She's amazing. She came back from a C2 injury. Her neck was broken. Mine was broken. My jaw, my C2, my nose, 3 ribs. And I wound up with a traumatic brain injury, courtesy of, in Canada. You know who you are. I don't think you follow me, but shame on you. Anyway, moving on. I follow Fallon Taylor because she is courageous. And if you love horses, subscribe to her channel. It's Fallon Taylor 2. And she's had some colts be born and some fillies be born this year. And I comment on a lot of that. And people that are in her world do come over to YouTube. You got to subscribe. Guys, you got to subscribe. You got to subscribe, because if and when a million years from now we ever get monetized, 100% of the proceeds are going to St. Jude's Children's Hospital for cancer research. I don't care if other people do it and other billionaires do it. I want to do it. And Tunnel to Towers for military members, housing. Yeah, so that's it. But so Fallon did a video last week of new fillies and colts that have been born there at the ranch in Texas. And she's like, I'm looking for a name. I'm looking for a name. Hey, we were getting ready to leave today to do something. And look at this surprise we found. This beautiful little filly. And I said, she was like, does anybody have a name? Got to come up with a name. And I'm like, well, in Italian, how you say in Italian is sorpresa. Sorpresa. Okay? Please name. Fallon, if you're watching, do me the honor of naming one of your fillies Surprise in Italian. It's so fitting. Sorpresa. All right. So that's what I wanted to talk about, why I co-own with Scott and Leona, and we're going to do it again in this breeding with Rain. And what does that mean? It means that they're going to raise that female. We're going to breed her to Bruno. We're going to carry on. We're going to put one foot in front of the other. We're going to continue on this Mastiff legacy of Mastiff excellence. And pups will be born in southern Maine. They have really, upped their game. Things are evolving and changing. And, nobody agrees with me all the time. My personality's not for everybody. And I tell people, I know I'm not everybody's cup of tea, but my heart's in the right place. So as far as co-owns go, that's a choice you're going to have to make. I don't think it can be done over social media where you do not physically see someone's home and their passion and have a lot of conversations about whether or not, we really don't sell each other out. We sell to people that see the mission of Massimo and respect him and we're breeding Mastiff excellence here. So as far as the people that contacted me with litters of puppies, wondering if they should let their sister-in-law or high school friend co-own a puppy with them, I can't answer that for you. Relationships take time, respect, and loyalty, and seeing that mission of integrity. It takes time. It doesn't happen just because you were friends in high school. People change. I'll tell you something funny real quick for all you young people out there that have 4,000 or 5,000 people on your Facebook. My husband spent about 25 years in law enforcement and was in the Secret Service, protected the Bush family and all that jazz down in Florida, protected the bratty Bush girls, and got out because he was kind of disgusted how things were going and it was becoming political, and he was sick, of the politics of it. So he took his retirement and his investments, and that's how he came up here to northern Maine. And I met him when Kira was 2, and he wound up adopting her. And but I will tell you something rather funny. I just got a brain fart. Hold on, it's coming. Wait. Wait now. Where was I going with this? Hold on. I got sidetracked telling you about Chris. Hang with me. It was something really funny. Oh boy. I hate when this happens. I should have written it down. I have a notepad right here. Yeah. Well, guys, how about this? Just know when you get your pup, we can only raise them once. Like old Bob said in California, we can only raise them once. Um, there's a lot in a name. We name our dogs things that Antonio likes and things over the years that Antonio actually named Lily, Bella Vista's Italian lily, because the lily is the is the flower for Italy. Kiana was named Qiana because Antonio was on Q. And all the good names were taken. Serafina was named Serafina, the daughter of Franca, because Antonio was on S, and the man that raised me's name was Serafino. Okay? So when he was born in Italy, his name was Serafino. So we named her the feminine version of Serafino for the man that raised me. What was I going to say? Anybody remember? Chris, what was I going to say? I was going somewhere. Um, the what? You adopted Kira. And your retirement. Yeah, so guys, like, the burden for me also is not only maintaining the integrity of this Mastiff legacy, it's that I have never had a bad horse deal or dog deal in 35 years. And I do not want chaos or drama in my life because my husband spent 25 years in chaos and drama in law enforcement. And I'm just not going to drag his name down with bad dog stuff. He's worked too hard. I've worked too hard. So when I met him all them years ago, I said, I might not be the girl for you. My personality is kind of like, honesty is everything, integrity is everything. I keep my circle small. I just lost. I got to make mention. A lot of you guys on my Facebook page, Bella Vista English Masters, which you have to ask to join because we don't want it to become one of them social media mastiff sites where everybody's talking silly and then I got to do damage control. But a lot of you remember in 2015 and 16, my very, very, very good friend that I grew up with in Boston, Maureen Carolyn. I went to first grade with her. We stayed friends for all these 50 years. She came up here in the middle of a blizzard, hung out with me. We went live on the Facebook page. Maureen passed away on January 5th. Like the night after I was talking to her. We were making plans to come up here and hang out with the dogs and maybe make a road trip. And so, you don't know what somebody's going through in their private life. You don't know the battles someone has. When Maureen died in January, I wanted to curl up in a ball because I knew she had she had a hard life. She had an amazing family. I don't even want to say that. She had an amazing family. Her father was the chief of police in Chelsea at one time. But she had a hard life, and loyalty and honesty was everything to her, and that's how we maintained our friendship for 50 years. So we don't know when we answer the phone or when we talk to somebody what that person's going through. It's okay to laugh. It's okay to come on social media and entertain people and have some good discussions. But in my private life, I didn't expect to lose Maureen January 5th. And in September, I did not expect to lose Gage. So Maureen in January, Gage in September. And it knocked me for a loop. So if you have a best friend, call them. Tell them you love them. Because sometimes we don't see that inevitable coming. And I know she's still with me. I know that she's with her beautiful children. But this is me. I don't love easy, but I love hard when I do. I am a very loyal person. And I'm loyal to my clients that trust me with their puppy journey. And they trust me with their heart and the heart of their children to put the best quality puppy that will be maintenance free in their hands. Purebred does not mean well-bred. AKC is just a registry. The value of your puppy is in genetic testing. That's all. I can't remember what I was going to say. I can't. To co-own, to not co-own. You have to build a rapport with somebody. You have to trust somebody. You have to know they see your vision. And remember, possession is 9/10 of the law. If you don't live in the same county or state, and money makes people do strange things, that is why, even though we don't always agree on every topic, Scott's wife and I, and sometimes my personality being everything got to be perfect is a lot for her, we're going to do it again with the daughter of Rain, the granddaughter of Gage. And we're going to breed Rain to Patton, and those are going to be some amazing puppies, once in a lifetime. So, Rain, the first fawn male is going to upstate New York. First brindle male, Gage lookalike, is staying here home on the home front with us. And I'm going to tell you, I have his name picked out. Guess what we're naming? My keeper brindle pup out of Rain. Y'all ready for this? I'm naming him Tyrus. Tyrus. Like Tyrus, the wrestler. I'm going to name him Tyrus. Amazing. I think that's going to be an amazing name. All my clients are already picking names. They're already getting their little goodie boxes ready. May is coming around. If you're watching, we will be drawing blood here in the whelping room to progesterone test. We are going to be doing our insemination. Sorry for the word. That's what we're doing. And then in 30 days, we will do a belly labs test. We just prick the inside of the mouth. If they're pregnant, 30 days, we will ultrasound right here in the whelping room on a big screen TV so you get to see your puppy in utero. Then we whelp on a live feed video. You're going to watch your baby being born. Magic happens here. So that's it. If you have any questions, I know we've got a lot of new subscribers. We got a lot of people. Lily just opened the door. Oh my God. All right. We got a lot of new subscribers. I now on this video have a lot of new messages. And guys, I want to make mention of something real quick. Real quick. If you're on the Facebook page, we have dear friends that live in Maine. Guy's a musician, amazing guitarist. Love hanging out with these guys, husband and wife. It brings back a lot of memories of the old days, singing with my brother and listening to classic rock and some maybe Johnny Cash. And I'm having so much fun with them. But the husband, his name is Trevor. He's become a really good friend of ours. He does this thing with AI where he scans your face thing with his, computer, and the picture of your pet. He scanned a thing of me to get my everything, and he scanned something with Gage on it. He's making me pieces of art that I am going to probably just take to Walmart and print out and put them on the wall. And he's going to do it for you too. If you have not joined the Facebook page, Bella Vista English Mastiff, please request to join. You have to have a profile. It can't look like a fake scammy thing because we don't approve those. We have a lot of high-profile people on our Facebook page from all over the world to count on us to keep it good, and we're going to do that. But if you want a piece of art of your pet and you in different settings, he has me in so many cool different settings with my dogs, and he has got Gage's face right down. You look at it and you just want to grab him and kiss his face. Come to the Facebook page, Bella Vista English Mastiffs. Check out what Trevor can do. He doesn't charge a lot for his time and his work. I think, he really didn't even want to charge for it. And I'm not going to say his last name right now because this is a huge platform and I like to sort of just keep that low key. He's doing this for me, for our clients on the page. His wife is really going to handle everything because this guy is a musician. He's making music. He's touching lives. And in his spare time for me, he's creating these masterpieces of art using AI. They're gorgeous. So he will do your photo for you with a couple of different settings. He will watermark it. He will then approve it. You will then approve it. And if you like it, he will remove the watermark, release it to you, and you pay like $30. When you go to a fair, they charge like $40 to go into the booth where you wear the Western wear or whatever. This is so worth it. He's done it for all of my dogs and my horses. It's amazing. He's going to do it. We have a list of our clients currently all over the United States that are going to have this man do this. We're just waiting. We're waiting. You got to contact us. We're going to email him the couple of photos of you and your pet or you and your spouse or partner. Watch what this man can do. It's amazing. All right. I am going to go. We got chicken soup cooking. If you have any questions, feel free to call us, 207-694-1200. And remember, I can't really answer that question to you for co-own or not to co-own. I'm just telling you, you got to really trust the person you're co-owning with. You got to have a mutual vision and a respect that can span time and controversy and still arrive back at that important place of what you're doing and why you're doing it. So May's coming. We're going to breed Kiana to Patton, Lily to Patton, Rain to Patton, and we're going to try Faith to Bruno. All right. If you have any questions, call us, 207-694-1200. Thank you for sharing your Sunday with us.